Well, thank you guys all for being here. They've got me strapped to this podium. I don't have a lavalier mic, so I can't wander around, which is hard for me because I'm really excited about this topic. I love talking about creativity. I think it's a life force and an engine in our industry which helps us to drive all kinds of business outcomes and performance. And I think it's one of the least studied. So I'd like you to imagine that you are sitting in a room and you've got to choose the best retailers in the world. So just think in your mind whatever retailers come to mind. Could also be manufacturers, could be wholesalers, but let's stick with retail for a second. And you're going to try to think, and then you have to say, well, why? Why do I think Starbucks, or why do I think Home Depot, or whoever comes to mind? Why do I think they're great? And imagine the list of things that would need to be true in order to make them great, right? So what is it? Operational discipline? Is it the control of their assets? Is it great leadership and training for their associates? Is it using advanced technology in order to connect with shoppers digitally? Is it branding? Is it their marketing savvy? Think about that long list of things that you might imagine. And that long list of things, is probably going to be very common in this room. And if you're an operator especially, like you're going to be thinking things like, they're controlling shrink. They're controlling inventory turns. They're really focused on the discipline of retail, because retail, wholesale, manufacturing, we can't run our business without that level of discipline. And I see my slides popping up now. There we go. Woo! Right, imagine that long list. And then I'd also like you to think about that list in terms of what does it take for a retailer to go from 1 store to 20 stores to 200 stores to a couple of thousand, right? It probably takes that exact, there's no way you can do it. You can't grow your business to be that scale without these kind of operational command and control inside your business. And this is true for manufacturing, this is true for wholesale, right? I mean, if we are not focused on metrics, if we're not holding people accountable, if we're not operating the business with a level of discipline, it's too complicated. The whole thing will come off the rails really, really fast. So in order to grow and be big, you have to have this. It's got to be part of your DNA. And yet so many times, we see great retailers who once were renowned for their operational discipline and their sophistication and their marketing edge, and you see them closing stores, or you can see them going away. And it's a little too easy to pick on Sears anymore, and the fact that the year Sears shut down its catalog business, Amazon started, and how can this big brand have missed the big internet, and how can it's so easy to pick on them. But look at this list here. These were once great retailers who were renowned for good training, discipline in the stores, inventory management, negotiating leverage, all the stuff that we talk about that it requires to be good. What is it that stopped them from going from 0 to 200 to 2,000 stores that then led them to 1,000 and 500 and 0? What happened? Where was the break? And so if you're a student of what goes right and wrong in retail, and you go out and look at the whatever happened to Bed Bath & Beyond, or whatever happened to Toys R Us videos, or you read the Harvard case studies that are done on a lot of these businesses, there's a phrase that keeps coming up. They always blame private equity. But if you push private equity aside, a phrase comes up over and over and over again, is that they lost touch with their consumer. That the skills that were required for that business to be great yesterday became increasingly irrelevant today and in the future. That somehow their success blinded them to a change in the marketplace and a change to how shoppers operated. And you go, well, how could that be? And it happens over and over and over again. Where a business that was once great, and you go in and they feel dated and tired, and it feels like they have just absolutely, rested on their laurels and not innovated or changed it. Like, what went wrong? And so while command and control are critical for operating these businesses, there are two other C words that I think are critical for sustainable great businesses. And that's curiosity and creativity. And these don't pop up in our metrics. There's no creativity metric in your average, store report. Now RVPs aren't selecting for this. And yet when I put these words up here, intuitively, you understand that what made Starbucks great, what allowed Home Depot to revolutionize home improvement in this industry, or Walmart to change the way of small American shops, or even Sears to bring products to shoppers who are really far away from stores. All of the major advancements that took place because somebody someplace saw an opportunity in a marketplace and said, if I did this, I think shoppers would like it, and let me go. Creativity and curiosity. I'm going to break these down for just a second. So let's just start with the first one, and I'm not talking about the rover, but I'm talking about the concept of curiosity. So what is that? What is that? If you've ever worked for a great boss, especially in retail, right? Great RVP or DM, you watch them, they're moving around the floor, they're constantly asking questions. Why is this set done this way? They grab a shopper and go, how come you chose this brand over this brand? They're like toddlers. Why? Why are things happening all the time? This relentless desire to try to understand a complex moving space. Some of you are smiling and laughing. Thank you for that. I thought I'd get a better joke with toddler-based marketing, but with a bigger laugh, sorry. It's this ruthless desire to try to figure out what's going on in the system. And of course, when you're curious, by definition, you're open. And if you're open, that means you're listening. You're curious about why something operates the way it does. And it's interesting because curiosity and expertise often are vicious enemies. Your previous expertise, your history, your knowledge, the skills that got you to the job that you have, don't prepare you to be open, perhaps, to the way the marketplace and shoppers are changing. And in that moment, our expertise, our knowledge, our experience sometimes clogs up creative thinking, and then suddenly you look and go, I've been running the same play over and over again, and I'm not moving out of my side of the field. Right? This idea that creativity, this kind of sustained, ongoing listening, is a magic sauce for how retailers and brands and manufacturers, how all of us constantly evolve and change our organizations so that we aren't the great, huge idea that sparked bright and then faded. That we have a sustaining business that allows us for decades to have a relationship with consumers that continues to be valuable and ever-changing and ever more personal. If you've got little kids in your household, they constantly ask why. If you work for somebody like that, it's constantly trying to figure out what's going on in the system. Or you yourself, it's like you see something, go, this store makes no sense to me. Why do you do it this way? This is so organized. We had a great Home Depot example. I spent 13 years there with Home Depot. We had a great example where we had faucets, bath faucets, and they were up on an overhead, raised way up in the air, and that was so you could push pallets underneath them so you could very easily restock the store. And of course, you'd go in there and you'd see, primary target for buying faucets is female, not males, and you see these ladies leaping up into the air trying to grab the faucet or getting brooms and knocking them off so they can touch and feel the product so they can make a buying decision. And you go, who is this store designed for? Why is it organized this way? What's the logic on something that seems so illogical through the lens of the consumer? Curious merchants with a capital M, they're always trying to think as a consumer. They were the consumer, not their merchandising or their operations or their marketing bag, but they were the consumer mindset going, is this the way people think? Is this how they want to shop my stores? And you'll see today, it's a little teeny tiny things that you can change that instantly get results. Because somebody somewhere thought, maybe there's a smarter way to do this. Maybe there's an insight here if I just listen to what the shopper is saying. This idea that curiosity is really a form of listening, but if I just say listening, that seems so animated. Really, that's what it is. Right? If you're curious, you're listening to what someone is telling you. And if we are engaged with our marketplace, and we have a dialogue with our consumers, whether that's standing in the aisle, or that's scaled listening through your loyalty card, or through advanced data techniques, or using AI to be a listening agent on our behalf, it's all the same thing. It's an openness and a willingness to engage with what's going on in a marketplace, and then to use that information in order to serve our customer better. Now, the question I get asked, what's the characteristics of great retailers? Some great retailers in this room, who are always talked about as being innovative and leaders and the rest of it. And I always say curiosity, and I say creativity. And then people will go, well, yeah, that's like some magic talent, right? Somebody who can play the violin at 4 years old. And I say, no, creativity can be taught. Because really it's an extension of something. It's really listening, right? It's scaled listening. It's answering these really, really basic questions, which I can't read because it's over there. So why do we do this thing this way? Like, why does it operate this way? It's the first question. And what's missing from the way we're doing it? Is there something that was a defect in the way we're operating that we don't see and that we're blind to? And then finally, how can we solve it? You can train the youngest cashier and the most experienced merchant. We can all use this kind of language in the way we diagnose the problems in our life and make decisions about our store. Now I'm going to show you some non-food examples and just a couple of food examples. I'm going to go in rapid fashion here. And as always in presentations like this, sometimes when you see something really creative, you go, well, of course, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of that? The picture on the wall, if you're a lady in the room, you probably get this slide intuitively. If you work in an office and you have to get off the subway and walk, heels are uncomfortable. These are flats. And then the heel is magnetic, and you get to the office and you pop it on, and now you got high heels, and then when you come time, you get to go and you just pop it off. How clever is that? It's just so obvious. At night in New Orleans, which is my hometown, also Charleston, you have traffic accidents with people who've been drinking and they run into mounted police officers. How do you solve the problem? It's called taillights. How do you get your kids to put on their winter clothing? You know, you make it a game and you make it fun and interesting. How do you teach blind kids how to read Braille? How about making Lego blocks that are the Braille pattern so that they can learn? I'm going to go fast through these. How do you select the right amount of pasta? I love this. This is a European company. So you got the size for kids, you got the size for adults, and you got what looks like a horse to us. They call it the American size. This is parking garage. You really can't tell if those are solar panels over the parking garage as opposed to corrugated metal, so it's a net energy contributor, and you can subsidize the cost of operations. And then, you know, even in our industry, there's just so many examples. I'll just pick on. I could do a whole hour-long presentation just on innovation in our industry. And Uncrustables is the one I love to talk about because it's just so obvious as a parent. Cutting the crust off of sandwiches for your kids is a time saver for the parent. The kids love it. You can throw it in a lunch pail. The retailers love it because we can merchandise a completed project, a completed solution, a meal solution, a simple one, but a meal solution for the shopper that makes everybody happy. And thousands of other examples like this that go on and on and on and on. If you think about our industry, and if you have dialogue with shoppers, and you say, tell us to design the perfect retail store, or tell us how we can improve our store, you know, they're going to tell you a lot of stuff that's on this slide. This comes from FMI's annual survey, but there's tons of these out there. It's like, they want an easier store to shop. They want more information to help them make smarter choices. They want value to be more obvious and clear. This laundry list of things that people would like us to do, that, you know, we sometimes do and sometimes we don't. I'll show you some examples. I'll try to put this in perspective. I'm going to use some different markets here. Some markets that are IGA, some that aren't. Markets that I admire and I think are cool, but I could use examples from thousands of independents because you see this all the time. So the first one is make shopping easier. Time-pressed parents, anyone who's got kids and soccer practice, you're juggling the time and dinner and the way that you feed your family in a lot of time-pressed ways. How do we solve these problems? Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can reorganize the store by solutions rather than categorizations. Our taxonomy makes no sense to the shopper. And yet our stores today and historically have always been organized by departments and categories that don't make sense. Which is why themed end caps, where you put things together, the classic s'mores end cap, or the green bean casserole that we do every Thanksgiving in every grocery store. Right? You get rockin' sales out of it because it's completely intuitive. The shopper rocks out it instantly and understands it. Now, those are hard end caps to merchandise. It requires people from different departments, but the shopper doesn't care about our organizational defense. They're just looking for their own solutions. Let's see some examples here. So this is one for meal night. So the one on the right is a prepared meatloaf with vegetables and everything. You just take it home and reheat. It's a duh. The one on the left is all the meats that you grind to get that we put together in order to make a great meatloaf with the instructions on the back. You know, these are that's deli sandwiches. So there's a line at lunchtime of people standing in line to try to get deli sandwiches. What do? I mean, these are simple ideas. They don't have to be rocket science. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. What do? You make the sandwiches, and you wrap them up and put them in the deli case and make them look absolutely beautiful. And you increase your business about 300-400% when you do it. And the shopper's happy because they don't have a long line to wait in. This is a really cool experience so that you can go in and learn about the alcohol that you're going to drink, and by step yourself up by being able to have an experience with the reps in the environment. This is like a number one problem when shoppers come in at night to shop is they don't know what they're making for dinner when they walk in. What do? You say dinner made easy, and then you put all the ingredients together and you rotate it out. This is our retailer in Ireland. This dinner made easy, and they can't keep the case filled because the inventory turns are so high because they made it so easy for people to make a choice. And on and on and on. I could go through these in depth. These beautiful pictures of our stores and the creativity that's taking place. Here's another one. I'm afraid that national chains don't sell healthy food. Boy, jump all over this. We live in a world in which shoppers' concerns about ultra-processed foods and health and things, whether they're real or imagined, it doesn't matter. They believe that big national chains somehow sell them unhealthy stuff, which means by consequence for independence, they believe we are heroic and are the good guys. How do we do this? How do you take advantage of what the shopper is telling us? I'm just listening to what they say. What do? How about let's make local heroic in the store? So this is our signage package. You can copy this and steal this idea, but walk your stores. How many times do we actually say the word local? We're so humble in our culture. We don't sell it. Just put local up everywhere because it's true. And put stickers on the product that says it was baked or made fresh daily so you can tell what you are doing custom versus what the shopper can just buy out of a package from a distributor 1,000 miles away at Target, right? Here's a retailer that's created some theater in their produce department. Those are beef carcasses back in the back. They go around and they spin around in a chain, and there's one chain that does it where they're actually real and they're really cutting them, and another one they're made of plastic, and it gives the illusion that they're a real custom dip. But of course they're great butchers too, but I mean, they're giving the shopper what they want is this imagery that you get a unique experience. This is one where they'll let the deli people make all kinds of crazy mushrooms, let their creativity go wild. There's all kinds of crazy flavors and stuff in these mushrooms. They'll be here this week, they won't be here next. Creating food theater by allowing us to expand our creativity inside of it so that we look more local. Here's one of our retailers, one of our award-winning Dave's up in Rhode Island. So one of our retailers of the year last year, and they actually took their displays and made them look like all the small businesses around town. So it was absolutely clear that you were shopping a local store. And this is Nanda Moods, one of our other retailers. It's a 100,000 square foot store in which they said, I want everyone, regardless of their ethnicity, to be able to come in and feel at home. So if you're in Guatemala or Mexico, or you're from the Far East, you come in, you're gonna find the fruits and vegetables and meat cuts that make sense to you, and of course, they're amazing retailers as a consequence. Each of these ideas, whether they're big or small, came from an insight that began with just listening to what the shopper wanted and hearing what they're frustrated about and saying, hey, can we solve this? Can we do this? This is a digital question, I can book international travel from my mobile phone and never have to touch a piece of paper, but I go shopping in my grocery store and it's pretty much the same as it always was. There's a billion solutions for this. There's a whole tech showcase here. I'm not going to get into this, but what happens on our side is our retailers become really creative. Not because you bought a technology or they have a partnership with some tech company or using ours, but because they figure out creative ways to do it. Here's our chairman of the Retail Advisory Council, and he goes out into farm fields and he says, these strawberries are going to be in my store next weekend. I'm buying them fresh from Farmer Bob here. And then there's people lined up out the store ready for the fresh strawberries because people want to know that they've got access to the freshest possible healthy food. Each of these ideas is just so clever and so simple. Here's a tech solution, putting user reviews on the little tag, just like Amazon 5-star reviews, and either they're supplied by the distributor or they let their own associates put a little mark on them that says which wine they prefer when they barbecue or whatever, right? The ability to convey information and become a partner with the shopper and to make shopping our stores easier, it sits within our hands. We are not victims of what's going on in the world around us. Yes, dollar stores on one side and Amazon on the other and Walmart, and we're always going to be surprised with competitors. It's always been true. There's always some evil villain trying to steal our market share, and yet sitting within our own organization, young and old, our creative minds, that if you just say, go figure out what the shopper's frustrated with, and let's figure out if we can solve that problem, and then sales go up, and think about a confidence booster that is. Be easier and faster. How do you save money? How do you figure out how to convey value in the store? Dialogue with the consumer about value. It turns out that time's just as important as money. In fact, in many families, it's even more important. And so how do you do it? You just expand your ready-to-eat meal solutions. The more solutions you give, the more you sell. The more you sell, the more unique are. And suddenly you've got departments now that are doing more than other center store categories. And you and your shoppers have become addicted to a way to get fresh, healthy food delivered onto a table in a way that doesn't make you feel like you've betrayed, the health promise to your kids. And if I'm cutting fruit, I'm taking a watermelon, comes with a couple of bucks, and I'm cutting it up and then I'm putting it out and I'm selling it for $13. There's margin in that, but what there really is a promise to the shopper that says between soccer practice and dinner and homework, I can help you get a meal on the table you feel proud of. In each of these instances, right, for time, I'm going to move really fast through these, but in each of these instances, what we're doing is we're standing forward and saying, I'm willing to listen and engage. I'm going to have a dialogue with you, and I'm going to pay attention to what you tell me, and when I do this, magical things are going to happen. This is what shoppers are saying. They actually, since COVID, shoppers have been aware and understand supply chain, and they know time on a truck means less fresh. Let's go tell shoppers about that, and let's be overt about it, and let's do it in ways that are really, really bold and make it really fun. And so this is some of our retailers here that trying to do this. This is one of our Irish partners. They went in and they took all the plastic packaging out, and it made everything almost all the plastic packaging is gone, so that they can say, we're buying direct from family farms. It gives you more of a farmer appeal to it. But then they have a recycling bin right next to it that says, if there is any packaging, we're going to help you get rid of it too. And in all the thousands of ways that shoppers talk to us about what they're worried about, whether it's sustainability, whether it's about plastic waste, whether it's recycling, or just trying to feed their family something that's nutritious that they don't feel guilty about and get it done on time. In every instance, they're telegraphing to us, not just in a dialogue in the store, but you just go read what they say about us in the user reviews and how they talk to each other on parenting sites and on the great web. But we have the largest consumer feedback mechanism in the world telling us that the way we operated yesterday doesn't have to be the way we operated before, that we can be masters of our future if pause to listen, let the shoppers tell us what they're looking for, get my team together and say, how could we solve this? Could we do this? Of course we can. Let's see if we can do it, maybe an item and an idea at a time, and then watch what happens to sales. All right, thank you for attending my formal presentation. Thank you for that. And I think at this point, I'm supposed to do something. All right, so we've got some videos of our award winners that explain what they do. So let's roll the first video now.
MGA Creative Choice Awards. Big ideas, real impact. We are pleased to honor the creativity powering independent grocery forward. And now, let's see this year's marketing winners. Digital excellence and omni-channel engagement. From social feeds to store aisles, today's shoppers move seamlessly between digital and physical worlds. And these winners met them there, turning clicks into connections and technology into trust. Pruitt's Food, $5 Friday. 15 stores or less. Pruitt's created a bold, digital-first event that delivered real value when families needed it most. With coordinated promotions across social, email, and in-store screens, $5 Friday became more than a deal. It became a destination. The results were clear. Friday sales jumped more than 40%. Every department felt the lift, and shoppers filled bigger baskets and kept coming back, for turning digital engagement into real-world results. Congratulations to Pruitt's Food. Big Live Foods. It's a uniquely regional insight, a season where hometown teams missed the big game and turned shared disappointment into shared celebration, with humor, heart, and a strong omni-channel strategy. Stella Potty reminded shoppers that no matter who's playing, the party goes on. Running across broadcast, streaming, social, digital, and in-store, the campaign delivered double-digit sales growth in key categories and surging loyalty signups. For blending creativity, culture, and commerce, congratulations to Big Y Foods. Integrated campaigns and innovation. The strongest campaigns don't live in one place. They live everywhere your customer does. These winners brought together creativity, data, and innovation to deliver bold results. Clark's Market, Clark's Perks. 15 stores or less. Facing seasonal slowdowns, Clark's Market built a smarter way to reach locals, turning a simple promotion into a fully integrated loyalty campaign. By blending rewards, community giveback, and omni-channel marketing, Clark's Perks generated more than 2,400 new members in 6 weeks and drove a 5 to 12% sales lift across stores. For turning innovation into loyalty and impact, congratulations to Clark's Market. Fairway Meat Foundation, AI-driven store visit campaign. More than 15 stores. Across 132 locations, Fairway used AI not just to reach shoppers, but to bring them through the door. By combining AI insights, geofencing, and localized creative, Fairway generated more than 44,000 in-store visits, beating its goal by over 80% and delivering a 10-to-1 return on ad spend for proving that data and creativity drive real-world results. Congratulations to Fairway Meat and Grocery. Community engagement and celebratory milestones. Independent grocers don't just serve communities, they are the community. Pontiac Street Market, pack to school. 15 stores or less. In Southeast Fort Wayne, Pontiac Street Market is more than a grocery store. It's a lifeline. Located in a former food desert, this single store created Pack to School to ease the burden on families heading into the school year. In just one day, the team served 700 families, providing backpacks, supplies, meals, haircuts, and health services, all through the powerful community partnerships. Pontiac Street Market turned a back-to-school event into a true act of care and doubled participation from the year before. For proving that community first always comes first, congratulations to Pontiac Street Market. Houchins Food Group, Clendenin stores. In Clendenin, West Virginia, the opening of a grocery store wasn't just a ribbon cutting, it was a homecoming. After nearly 10 years without a local grocer, Houchins Food Group brought fresh food access back to town with a brand new Save-A-Lot. The grand opening drew hundreds of residents, local leaders, and state officials, celebrating more than a store with expanded fresh offerings, dependable value, and a strong commitment to local jobs. The Clendenin Save-A-Lot became what every town needs, a hometown grocery store families can count on. For turning an opening day into a true community milestone, congratulations to Houchins Food Group. Multicultural engagement. Reflects the people you serve. Telaloapan Meat Market. 30 years growing with our community. 15 stores or less. For 30 years, Telaloapan Meat Market has been a gathering place for families and neighbors. To celebrate, they gave back with $30,000 in store credits, food access events, and a cultural grand opening filled with music, dance, and tradition. For honoring both heritage and heart, congratulations to Telaloapan Meat Market. Sendix Markets, Festivals Partnership. More than 15 stores. In Milwaukee, the city of festivals, Sendix Markets found a way to bring those celebrations even closer to home. Through a new partnership with the United Ethnic Festivals, Sendix helped connect shoppers with the traditions, food, and music of cultures across the city, from Italian and Polish to Irish, Mexican, German, and more. By offering festival ticket sales in-store and featuring authentic foods tied to each celebration, Sendix turns summer festivals into a shared community experience, not just downtown, but in every neighborhood they serve. For building bridges through food, culture, and connection, congratulations to Sendix Markets. Brand and talent growth. Their brand doesn't start with it starts with your people. Dorothy Lane Market. Be a part of the DLM experience. 15 stores or less. Dorothy Lane Market showed that grocery is more than a job. It's a career. Through heartfelt hiring videos and associate spotlights, they attracted 300 new team members and showcased a culture where people stay for decades. For building a brand people are proud to wear, congratulations to Dorothy Lane Market. Friesen Brothers, Friesen Brothers invested in the future by supporting the next generation of chefs, bakers, and butchers through the Future of Alberta Food competition. With a sold-out event and former students returning as judges, they proved that when you grow talent, talent grows the industry. For building a pipeline of pride and possibility, congratulations to Friesen Brothers.
To our marketing winners. These will be up online, so if anybody's looking for them, we'll post them online, but congratulations again to our marketing winners. And now we'd like to show you our merchandising winners. Roll the tape.
Great merchandising does more than fill shelves. It sparks curiosity, it tells a story, and it turns everyday shopping into an experience customers remember. we celebrate the retailers who are redefining what great merchandising looks like, creating moments that drive excitement, loyalty, and growth. Let's meet the top honorees in the NGA Creative Choice merchandising categories. Local, specialty, and emerging products. Independent grocers are often the first to shine a spotlight on what makes their communities special. These winners brought local products to life through storytelling, partnerships, and unforgettable in-store experiences. Bianchini's Market. Love local, a taste of place. Bianchini's Market celebrated Northern California by highlighting the people, farms, and flavors that define that region. Their Love Local campaign showcased local products across every department, connecting taste and terroir through producer stories, recipes, and a one-day Taste Local event featuring 15 vendors. Customers responded with strong engagement and sales growth across both stores for turning local pride into a true taste of place. Congratulations to Bianchini's Market. Coborn's teamed up with longtime partner Menea's Meats and regional favorite Castle Danger Brewery to create something uniquely local. Beer brats made with real craft brewers. The Brat of the Month promotion energized summer grilling season, selling more than 4,000 brats and generating nearly $180,000 in sales. For proving that great partnerships make great products, congratulations to Coborn's. Fresh innovation. Where energy lives in the store, where sights, smells, and service turn everyday shopping into excitement. These winners transformed fresh departments into true destinations. Edwards Food Giant. In North Little Rock, Edwards Food Giant reimagined grocery food service with a focus on freshness and variety. From handcrafted sushi and fresh salad bars to take-and-bake pizzas and house-made sauces, their upgraded program delivers quality, choice, and convenience. Backed by modern kitchens, trained teams, and digital menu boards promoted across social media, the results were clear: stronger engagement, higher traffic, and a fresh department that truly stands out. For elevating food service into an everyday draw, congratulations to Edwards Food Giant. Freezen Brothers took a seasonal favorite and turned it into a full-scale celebration. Their 2025 Hatch Chili season evolved into an immersive festival, complete with cross-department innovation and a one-day Hatch Chili Fest that kicked off record demand. With new bakery, deli, meat, and prepared food items, and authentic storytelling from their own teams, the campaign delivered 33% year-over-year growth, sold out new products, and lasting loyalty. For transforming a product into an experience, congratulations to Freezen Brothers. Center Store. The center of the store is where strategy meets scale, where smart merchandising turns everyday aisles into powerful selling spaces. These winners reimagined Center Store and beyond to drive traffic and results. Pruitt's Food, $5 Friday. Pruitt's Food turned Center Store into a monthly destination by building a store-wide merchandising event around a simple $5 theme. High-value items were carefully selected and featured across the store, supported by bold displays, clear signage, and strong end cap execution that guided shoppers through the entire store. The results spoke for themselves. Friday sales jumped more than 40%. Baskets grew well beyond the promoted items, and lines formed at the opening. For turning a simple price point into a powerful growth engine, congratulations to Pruitt's Food. Coborn's kept Center Store top of mind with its Daily Deals banner program, featuring a hot item every day of the week, month after month. The results were decisive. Featured items saw a 95% year-over-year sales increase, contributing to a 3% lift in total sales. For proving that consistency and great value drive results, congratulations to Coborn's. Private Label Excellence. Private Label is no longer just about value. It's about quality, trust, and excellence. These winners built store brands that stand shoulder to shoulder with national names. Living Fresh Market, increasing private label sales. Living Fresh Market, put AWG brands front and center through end caps, cross-merchandising, and digital support. The payoff was immediate. A 23.5% increase in cases sold, and a 13.5% increase in cases sold for proving that visibility builds confidence and growth. Congratulations to Living Fresh Market. Fairway Store. Fairway elevated private label with Truly Yours, a modern, trend-driven brand featuring premium packaging, better-for-you attributes, and limited-time flavors. The launch drove trial, loyalty, and excitement without discounting the brand. For truly elevating private label, congratulations to Fairway Stores. The most memorable shopping experiences don't happen in one aisle. They happen across the entire store. H.G. Hill, Peach Paradise. H.G. Hill turns summer into a store-wide celebration with Peach Paradise, partnering with the Peach Truck to deliver fresh peaches straight from the orchard. From bakery to produce to meat, peaches appeared everywhere, supported by bold displays and sampling. Sales soared from 750 pounds to more than 20,000 pounds, making H.G. Hill the destination for the taste of summer, for turning one fruit into a full store experience. Congratulations to H.G. Hill. Fall Festival. Coborn's brought fall to life with a one-day fall festival, combining parking lot fun and in-store promotions. The results were unmistakable. 26,000 pumpkins sold in one day, a 53% jump in meat sales, and a 12.8% increase in total sales. For turning seasonal excitement into store-wide results, congratulations to Coborn's.
And the music's over. Hey, let's have another round for all of the winners. That was really good. And I know you were thinking you were done with me, but actually not, because I get to host a panel, and this will be a lot of fun. So we have 4 panelists here. So it's Paul Rotten, Jeff Stearns, Sean Steele, and Shannon Clark. If you just join me up here on stage, and we're going to talk about really cool things here. So here we go. So congratulations on all of you for being winners. It's really cool and seeing what's going on in the stores and seeing where the innovation comes from. I think I'm going to start with you, Paul. So what was the moment, I guess, or the challenge that made you realize something had to change? And per my speech, what was the problem you're trying to solve?
Well, for us, we were building a new store, and I say building, we were taking over a former department store within a shopping center, and so we had a clean slate with what we wanted to do. And it became very apparent early on that our leadership team was fully committed to making sure that this was a store that we could thrive on fresh. We knew with Kroger and Aldi and Walmart, all a stone's throw away, that we had to really play up to what we do. So this is, it's an average size store for us, but has the smallest footprint center store of any of our stores. So it became apparent that we were really going to have to focus on deli, meat, produce, those type items. And so from early on, we started working on those items and knew that our footprint needed to be better than what we had done in the past to allocate more floor space and shelf space to these items. And so that's really how it started. And then it kind of quickly, as many things do, evolved into, we thought we were really good at this, and we are in some locations, but in other locations, we're just kind of like me. So it became an effort of us across our company to really go back and focus on those stores that were not as strong performers with the deli and those things. And so it gave us an opportunity to one, build a store that we're proud of and very excited about, but also to focus on the stores that we may have neglected or just not made a focus. And so it's a challenge when you've got existing stores that you want to go back in and add more deli or additional food service items, but we kind of worked through it as a team. And so it was a good opportunity to kind of go back and retool.
When you do creative problem solving, it becomes addictive. Because now you learn, we can actually do this. And that gives you the confidence to go back and now let's attack other problems that's been around the system for a long time. And maybe we didn't really know what to do, we just knew we needed to do something.
Absolutely. It was a good opportunity for our team. We've got an excellent team. partnered with our vendor providers, and it really gave us an opportunity. We have been known in our communities as across the state as the meat people, but everybody knew that meat was no longer going to be the only thing that could pull the store sales up, and so focusing on produce and deli became very important to us, and this gave us an opportunity to kind of go back to the basics.
From back to the basics to technology, I think, Jeff, I'd like to ask you about, you have to take a leap of faith for change, right? You have to believe in yourself that you're going to be able to make it happen. And you hear a lot about AI days, and I think all of us are still learning how to integrate that technology inside of our business, and it's moving so fast. It's moving so fast. How did you feel about this idea? It had to be risky, and then how did you get buy-in? And I think that's the most important one for both the leadership team and the teams themselves.
Yeah, the risk is, if you don't continue to evolve and innovate, you're going to struggle to continue to grow your business and your customer count. So we looked at an audience segment using AI, and that we were not performing well in. And that was families that are with children that are busy, dual incomes, and we were underperforming in that market. So based on the things that we always knew and always did in the past, we had to trust AI to make real world decisions that affect real stores' P&Ls. And that's not just on your dashboards where there's fancy, engagements, likes, clicks, all those type of things, but things that really go to the bottom line. And a couple of the segments that we were underperforming in was families, and so we created those type of ads that would generate, and they would, those customers would adhere to those type of ads with items that they need every week, and we change those things every week on those type of ads that we did. And changing budgets according to that, was tough from what we always used to do to put it into AI and machine learning.
I think with AI, it's easy to look at it and feel trivial, right? You see a lot of silly photos and other things, but it's really a turbocharger for asking questions. And you can rapid fire through a whole series of questions with AI. Does your team now feel like they've stepped forward, or are they just at the beginning of understanding it?
Well, AI is still in its beginning stages, and again, like we've always taught on our marketing side, again, we have to continually evolve and innovate again, or we'll fall way behind. So AI is going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to learn from it, learn what our customers want, where they are, what they want to see, and then get the real store results from that as we continue to see foot traffic grow.
So from AI, let's go to promotions. We're grocers, right? We know how to do promotions. You guys made a commitment, Sean, to not just to run an event, but it's a monthly commitment. And the $5 Friday thing, that turned the store into a destination. How did you keep it feeling fresh week after week?
Well, we looked at it as providing the customer value. They're looking for something, maybe they don't want to clip a coupon or visit an app or something like that. So $5 is a number that's reasonable. It feels a little bit cheap, but it's still high enough that you're going to get something meaningful for it. So we follow a simple program of doing $5 each on primarily our loss leaders, $5 a pound on fresh departments where applicable, and then multiples of 5 throughout the center store and in other departments as well. For, I said, loss leaders, we've got, maybe our big regional ice cream that's going to be a $9 ring. We're selling that for $5 that day. A Velveeta or a national brand soda, the customer knows they're really getting a value for that. And then on the $5 a pound, we've done chuck roast and deli meats, fresh sliced, and then crazy multiples. Our owner likes to do some unique stuff, so we've done 25 pounds of cabbage for $5, 15 boxes of macaroni and cheese for $5, 25 ears of corn for $5. We keep it kind of like a treasure hunt from month to month, so the customer never really knows what's going to be in there, but they know it's going to be something fun. There's going to be something that's solid value, a meal solution. There's also going to be something in there that's going to be fun and basic pantry filling staples. So it's a good solid mix to fill the basket, and we try to tie everything in to where there's plenty of cross merchandising available. Like, for instance, they're not just going to buy chuck roast. We've got things merchandised to go with that, whether it's potatoes or something else. We're able to pre-package a lot of those items in advance, so we're obviously on the chuck roast, we're selling that for $5 a pound. That's typically going to be a 2 to 3, 4 pound package. So that's a big ring going through the register right there. Deli meats, we package that a day ahead of time, typically 2 pound packages. So we're getting solid rings on the items that we have on sale for that day. And it typically turns into, we've seen some pretty solid lifts. We plan each of these events like we're planning a holiday, because typically we're going to do holiday style business on that Friday.
So I love so many things about this story. So you use the word fun about 5 times, and when merchants start talking about doing the weekly ad, fun is not normally the adjective.
And we don't do a traditional weekly ad. We like to do fun stuff like this.
So it is contagious though, right? So you get some success, and pretty soon the team members are coming to you with crazy ideas.
Absolutely. We listen to, like you mentioned earlier, staying connected with your customers. Customers, of course, have plenty of great ideas that they'd like to see in there.
Sure
they may not be fiscally responsible for us to do at that same time, but we try to listen to them and see what we can come up with. And again, it's like a treasure hunt. You never know, what crazy thing we can come up with, whether it's, a deal we can take advantage of and augment through one of our, our primary supplier or one of our local vendors. We've done a lot of local watermelons when they're in season, local corn. We try to work that in when possible. So, it's a mix, and it's always fun.
If there's time, I want to come back and talk about manufacturing around holidays, but I want to get to Shannon here real quickly. So you guys opened a store in a community that had no store. And sometimes if you're the only game in town, you can treat people any way you want because you're it, right? And you guys put the full Houchins, program together. You improved the store, you've got a great team in there, your store managers are supported by all this team. What's the one thing that you did in Clendenin that you think every grocer could apply when entering a community that's been storeless for so long?
Well, John, in Clendenin, it was really an opportunity for us to go into the community and listen and not make an assumption. So in Clendenin, the situation was that within the city limits, they had not had a full assortment grocery store for over 10 years. In the 2016 floods that hit that area, an independent grocer, their store was under 7 foot of water, and it didn't reopen after that. We had a Save-A-Lot within proximity of Clendenin, and what we heard was that the mayor was really reaching out. Kay Summer, who is the mayor of that town, was really advocating for her community. They were having to drive 20 minutes to get the assortment they wanted in fresh produce and fresh meat. And so our operational leadership, Save-A-Lot, worked together with that community and really wanted to raise our hand and say that we could do better in the community and really address those needs. And so what we did was we relocated our store to get inside of those city limits and into those customers' access that they needed in walking distance. We expanded the store, we doubled the square footage in it. We expanded our fresh offerings for them. And then we added a deli and bakery as well. So that's the only Save-A-Lot that we have that has a deli in it. So we're doing a fried chicken and side program in that. And those aren't big and flashy things that you do for the community, but what it does is it creates the ability to become a community anchor instead of just being a place for them to shop. And so that's made a huge difference to this community, and they've reacted and showed their loyalty to that commitment that we put in. And the sales for this has averaged about a 45% increase for us within that community. So it's been an excellent opportunity for us.
So I can imagine the conversations there, because to relocate a store that you've already got, is that just cannibalization? And then the second challenge is, to make the investment in expanding the departments and the rest of it. Were there, was that an easy decision to make? Or did you find that you had to, kind of really think through why you should make the bigger investment?
I think anytime that you are responding to the needs of a community, that is being very vocal, that they are in need of more assortment, it helps it make an easier conversation internally to have and to make that commitment to that community. So our store that was in proximity was a good store, and it provided a great limited assortment, as the Save-A-Lot brand is meant to do. But what we really saw was an opportunity to kind of stretch the boundaries of what that banner had done before. And so with the help of the community and having those conversations, it helped us understand that there was going to be a commitment by the community to shop there. We were going to be able to take in that lost dollar that was heading over 20 to 30 minutes away into the community. And it's been great. I mean, just the hot deli alone, and it's 14 weeks to $75,000 with that community. So, they're committed to us, we're committed to them, and it's been a great partnership.
Well, I could do this panel all day long, but Laura's telling me it's time to get off the stage. So thank you guys. You are awesome. Congratulations on being winners, well deserved, and look forward to seeing you up here next year.